Welcome back to another episode of Bag Lady Unloaded. I am Nick, the poetic nomad, and today we're going to be talking about my last year's trip to LIB. On the way to LIB, because we took a bus, we took the Greyhound, I was having a lot of anxiety. And I mentioned in another video how I tend to have anxiety coming back from trips, going to trips or going on trips and coming back home because of my grandmother dying after my 2011 trip to the Bahamas. So I tend to get anxiety. Only this time I had really bad anxiety. My stomach was like tossing and turning. I was very nauseous. I felt dizzy. It was almost like a panic attack, but not necessarily there. And so to help myself calm down, I decided to try breathing techniques and to pray. When I started to pray, the first thing that I started to say was, please protect our things. And I immediately judged myself. I'm like, who cares about things, right? If I lose a shirt, I can get another shirt, but I just want to make sure me and my kids are okay. So I just prayed over us. I said, you know what? If anything else happens, it's fine. I'll take it. I just want me and my children to be okay. Please make sure that we have a safe trip to LIB and that we have a wonderful time when we're there, and please make sure we get home safely to Los Angeles. So I, pushed through all of the anxiety I was feeling. Like I said, nothing new. And we get to the Bakersfield Greyhound station and we Uber from the Greyhound station to the camping site. And we're standing outside. It's really fucking hot. The kids are tired from our long, journey. And we have all of our bags just kind of standing outside. And cars were already lining up because they hadn't started allowing people to go into the camping site. So we were kind of just standing around with our bags. And then we realized that we were standing facing the opposite direction. So we were facing one gate and we kind of need to go all the way, who knows how long, to the other gate. And so somebody sees us and it's a single guy in a car and he's like, hey, Mom. And it's Mother's Day weekend. So he's like, hey, Mom, can I give you guys a ride in? And I usually say no when this happens, but my kids looked just so tired. It was hot. They really wanted to sit down and they're like looking at me like, please, please, please. And so I'm like, sure, why not? So he realizes after a couple minutes that he can only fit us and not our bags. He offers to like put our bags, like we had two really big suitcases, which included our camping speakers, or our music speakers, our camping equipment, like our tent, our pillows, our covers, flashlights for the tent, and all of, the things we would need to like clean our skin and everything, brush our teeth and stuff like that. So we had two really big luggage suitcases. And he offered to ride them in with them on top of his car. And we would just ride in slowly. But then another guy behind him jumps out and he's like, hey, I love to see people helping people. Let me help you guys out. So he offers to just put our suitcases in his car because he's riding in by himself. We kind of, sit there and talk in line. And, he's telling us this story about meeting all of these his friends in, and how they have this big camper van that they decked out, and we're just all talking and excited to get in. So we ride into the park and the guy that has our stuff disappears. I didn't want to think that he taken it right away. So I kind of was like, oh yeah, we'll find him. We'll go. We'll walk around after we get in and just see if we can find him. There wasn't a lot of people in there just yet. In the camping site just yet. So I felt like it would be really easy to find this guy with our things. And because I had like a 6-year-old daughter with me, and then 2 preteen boys, like, who's gonna steal from a mom on Mother's Day, right? It didn't even cross my mind that he would take my things. And so we kind of get in and we start walking around. We're like shouting, looking for him, and we can't find him. We give up. We're tired. We go back to this site where the guy who drove us in, he's like, oh, I hope you didn't have too much in there that was valuable. And I'm like, no, not really, just our camping things. I had my phone in there. It was an extra phone that I wanted to use for pictures. And like I said, the speaker was kind of expensive for us to listen to music, at night. And yeah, I wasn't really worried about it. And so we go to, the grounds. We're really excited right away. Me and my kids, we walk over, exploring, looking at all the art that's being put up, and we get something to eat. They had really nice vegan grilled cheese sandwiches that you could add avocado and tomato on, which is my jam. And the kids just got pizza. They aren't vegan. And so we just had something to eat, and then we walked back to this guy's car, and we asked him if he'd, seen the guy at all. He hadn't. So in the spirit of being optimistic, we, decide to, just keep going. We did try for a little bit to look for like the lost and found, hoping that maybe he would have dropped our things off at the lost and found. He didn't. He never did. He'd obviously stolen our things, and he probably only came to LIB with that intention, to steal from someone, which sucks. But we had fun anyway. We were very cold at night, obviously, because it gets really cold in California at night. And the guy who drove us in did allow us to sleep in his car. But we still experienced a great time. We all did yoga together. We meditated together. We went to talks. We just made the best of a really bad situation. But there's always a moral of the story. That moment made me realize that I should never judge my intuition. Because immediately once I realized that he'd stolen our things and we were just not going to get our things back, I thought back to the Greyhound ride over and how I'd said that I should pray over my things. I literally started to pray over my things. But then I judged myself and I didn't do it. And I don't know why our intuition is so that it knows things that we can't explain, but it does. And because I didn't trust myself, I decided to just pray over us. Now, yes, no harm, no foul. It was a tent, a phone, and a couple of things we needed to make our experience at LIB more comfortable at night. But I do believe that if I had listened to my intuition and prayed over our things, we would have had an even greater time than what we had. But the silver lining was I learned my lesson. Every time now I have intuition, I just do it and then think about why I did it later. Think about what it meant later. If I feel the need to say something or feel the need to do something, I know it's a gut feeling, I listen to it instead of judging myself. So yeah, listen to your intuition. because you know, even if you don't know why you know, you know. But again, we had a great time. That's all I have for today. Watch out for the video about what to pack and to expect and or at a camping music festival. And yeah, thanks for watching.